have my next half year of Sundays figured out. And maybe I could bring back the podcast. I don't know. If I could get people who are willing to do it. I don't know if I would or not. But yeah. That'd be nice. Because there's like so much stuff that like I just look at and like I just want to talk about and I just can't. You just can't. So it sucks. Yeah. I'm just sitting here like thinking about what to do, you know? Because I have no idea. Hmm. I'm just lost in thought, all alone. Hmm. Yeah, I just really have no clue what I want to do. It's just that simple. I've said it multiple times, but I really don't. Because really, anything that pops up, I'm just kind of like, eh. Like, I'll have an idea, and I'm just like, I'll do that. And then I just turn out and be like, like a minute or two later, just like, eh, I don't know, man. So that's how basically the last half hour has gone for me. I mean, I watched Sean Connery's really bad Wheel of Fortune guesses, and those are always great. But I, I just was about to see Mossy Turkey Turner, which I gotta say is probably one of my favorite one of his. Like it's a pretty underrated one. It's just funny. Ugh. Yeah. I have no clue. You know. Oh yeah, my stream would have been pulled up. Forgot about that. I forgot when I type in Twitch, it goes to my freaking profile. It just doesn't go to the homepage or whatever. 'Cause, yeah, I think some funky stuff happens if I were to open up my stream on my computer. On my phone, I think it works fine, but like obviously I'm streaming on my computer, so it'd be really funky if I open it up on my computer. Yeah, I just don't know what I want to do. It was interesting though. I yesterday saw like a video on like why grading's a scam. And, I thought it was really interesting because the whole thing is like, well, I did skip some of it, so I'm probably, and it was like a day ago. I could just be misremembering it, but it was the idea that rewards are not a good thing, and it demotivates people to do stuff because they focus more on the reward and not the thing they're doing to get that reward. So like with schools, they really only care about that A or whatever, and they're like not really getting the information that is being taught, which I think is interesting. And also like schools need to be more collaborative and whatnot, which I think is true. That's what something I thought before. And also same thing with like GPAs with colleges, like that's a necessity. Like I thought those were like so stupid. Like they just make no sense. Like why do I need to get like a 4.0 or something like that just to go to a college? Like those grades have never mattered like at like any other point in my life. So why does it matter what college is? Like it doesn't make any sense to me, GPAs. Like if I were to run a college, there would be no GPA requirement because like that's just stupid. Especially with like tests and stuff because some people just aren't great with taking tests, you know? Or like they could have just been in a like awkward or like not a great situation before, like they didn't get enough sleep or something. So you know their mind's not in it. Like, it's just dumb to me, like GPAs. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like maybe if it was a thing to like all of school, maybe, but like it's literally only for colleges. And like they only care about your high school GPA, and I just find that so like dumb. And also, I always have thought like schools need to be more collaborative because like really how I see people in my school, like I know they're more than just like soulless people and just going through school days, but like I can't shake that because we're just forced to like be quiet and like not really work together. Like schools are taught, or like how they're taught is like you gotta teach your child to obey, and that is just really stupid. Like they should have the freedom, and if you want them to learn like critical thinking and whatnot, you're not doing that. You're just forcing them to obey and listen to these facts that they're not motivated to learn at all. Like they just aren't. And like we're just forced to, you know, learn these and not get like any freedom or anything. Because I always feel like at school, you need to make like that's the perfect place to make connections. But like most classes are set up so you just can't do that. Like you're usually just by yourself or like working on your own, doing these like mind-numbing like facts that you wouldn't care about. And like yeah, like it just needs to be more collaborative. That's all it needs. If you make it so students interact with each other, it'd be great. Like then they can, because someone who I talked to, like they've said something, and I think they got from someone else. I don't remember who, but they say it's more important now today to make like about the connections you have than like more of your skill. I do think though that skill does help you like at a certain point, but yeah, I think connections do really help you. And like school, you have so many people, and like they'll have way more connections too from them, and we just can't talk to each other because we're just forced to like sit down and be quiet. And like there was this whole thing about like not asking questions. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like it's fine, at least with my school. Like they're pretty open about asking questions. I'm sure back then it was a problem. Like Thomas Edison, I think, like he literally asked a bunch of questions, and then teachers like, "Hey, this kid is stupid." It was just curiosity, but I think that's starting to go away a bit more. At least with my school, it's not a problem. Like they actually are open to like you asking questions. But yeah. Also when people are just like you raise a child not to make the relationship but to make them obey you. Like no, that's dumb. That's incredibly stupid and just wrong. Like it, I don't understand that at all. Like I don't need to be a psychologist to know like that's just stupid. That's really dumb and doesn't make any sense. Or that freaking spanking is good. Like how would that be good? I don't see the correlation to that being good, you know? It just doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah. Probably look more into the Human Restoration Project because I feel like based off the name, you would not think they'd want to change how the school system works, but that's what they want to do. And I think it makes a lot of sense what they want to do. Like they also are trying to make school less competitive, which I haven't noticed it too much, but to be fair, the whole school ranking thing is kind of making it competitive based off your GPA. Like it may not seem competitive, but like they literally rank you. Like it is absolutely competitive. And like you need to be more collaborative. Like being competitive is just a toxic more thing. I feel like it's okay like during like sports and whatnot. Like if you want to win, cool. But that shouldn't be your thing in life, you know? Maybe just like in games or like stuff you're just doing for fun. That can be like a little competitive. But when it comes to just life in general, you need to be more collaborative than competitive. Like, also people are just like, oh yeah, only work on yourself because you can't fix problems out in the real world. It's like, nope, that's nope. I don't know what you're talking about. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know if you can tell, but I've watched a lot of videos on people bashing the right-winged like media out there. Because God, the stuff they say is just stupid. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like PragerU is just literally propaganda for the right wing, like conservative propaganda. And like, I don't know. It's just making me see more and more like the right doesn't make any sense in what they're saying. Like I already didn't in like how they treat other people, and like that's literally been proven. I feel like in race, but also now in like sexuality and whatnot, ethnicity, and also like what was the other one? I don't remember. It was rights and then something else. I forget what it was. Dang it, whatever. Whatever, man. Oh yeah, also when Ben Shapiro says the freaking all of history didn't happen uh until freaking Western civilization is just racist and also wrong. And private property. That's what he said. Western civilization, private property. History didn't happen before then. Which, nope. Humans literally started in Africa and the Middle East. Like, no. You're just wrong in that. Facts don't care about your feelings. Well, guess what? Your feelings care about facts. It's kind of... Shoot, what was it in geometry that I learned? I forget what those statements are called, but like the inverse is true, but like that's just not a correct statement. Because the first part may be true. I can't remember what those freaking terms were, and we learned it in geometry. I can't remember. Like, sure, maybe spelled out the first waves right, but when you flip it, like the hypothesis and the conclusion, I believe that's what those two parts are called, then it's really not. Like, they don't add up, because, while facts may not care about your feelings care about the facts. Because your feelings and biases are really what makes you choose which facts you accept for that overarching topic. Like when Ben Shapiro says that I think it was that women have less IQ than men, even though it's been statistically like proven that that's not the case, and it's also just sexist. But you know, that's what else is new. Like I don't get it. I don't know economic policy with like conservatives and the liberals. That's the thing I don't really know. Well, liberals want more like I think government stuff to influence like with the economy, and then conservatives just want, who cares? Everybody for themselves. So, you know what? Whatever. Which I don't think makes any sense. Like, if people need help, they need help, and the government should be the ones to help them. Like, I don't. I feel like it's the whole reason there is a government, so they can help the citizens. And when you're just like, yeah, screw it, every man for themselves, like, that's not good. You should actually help them out. Like, as humans, we should, help each other and not discriminate or like anything like that. We should just be cool with each other and just help each other out. Because then we'll get more done as humans. If we're just like all by ourselves, just not doing anything, then like clearly nothing's gonna get done. But if we work together, then hey, guess what? Stuff gets done. It's literally how freaking the House and Senate are right now, dude. It's kind of clear to see. Like, when stuff doesn't get done, then nothing happens. Like, nothing changes. And like if stuff gets passed, then hey, stuff can get done. But, you know, our House and Senate is just so broken. Because, you know, for some reason, they're the biggest enemies, the opposite parties. And, like, I don't get it. Like, even as someone who's, I'd say I'm pretty far to the left, like, I still don't like the fact that, like, you just can't compromise or anything. If you are of an opposite party and you want to vote because you know that you might think it helped the American people, then, like, you get called out for it, I guess, for just wanting to help the American citizen, like the average American. Like, I don't understand it, and yet people still eat up Trump, and I don't. You just ask kissing at this point. It's like, I will say, if there's one kind of okay thing I'll say about Trump, god dang, he's a good manipulator. Because he really freaking manipulated the Republican Party there. Like, god dang, dude. And they're still buying it. And, like, I don't. What's going on, man? Like, what's happening? Yeah, I really don't. Because also, their whole thing about the wall and stuff, that just makes border security worse. Like, there's gonna just be. Like, maybe not coming in, but there's still gonna be illegal immigrants. Like, because most of them just, you know, are like, again, it's for a pretty innocent reason with all, like, the whole test thing. They might just want to be visiting there, and then they accidentally, like, either might be having, like, too much fun, or, like, they just lose track of time and just overstay their welcome. Like, I feel like that's a pretty honest mistake, and yet people are just freaking, like, so on top of them, and it's like, dude. And they just want to make the border, like, as tough as freaking North Korea and South Korean border. It's like, dude. I don't even think Mexico is really an enemy of ours. Like, why are we treating them so rough? Like, I get Mexicans don't really like Americans, but, like, still, maybe you just treat them better than Mexico and Mexicans might like us more. Have you ever thought of that? Like, god dang. I don't understand why people are so adamant about this. Plus, they're also escaping, like, these, like, rougher conditions in these southern countries to go to America to have a better life. Like, and you're just saying no? Like, I don't get it. I just don't. Like, I feel like, honestly, open borders could work out pretty nicely. It's just we have a bunch of white supremacists on our freaking borders that just don't want that to happen. So, you know, great. This country is great, dude. I love it. Yeah, also, like, honestly, the more I think about it, I feel like communism actually isn't that bad. I'm not saying throughout history, because, yeah, that was bad. Stalin and, like, the USSR, and, like, all the other one, like North Korea, that's bad. Which they aren't even calling themselves communist anymore. I think they're socialist now. But I'm saying, like, basically what Marx wanted, but, like, I don't know. It's just like, because I know my US history teacher said, well, the main problem with communism is, like, there'd be no incentive to get paid more, so, like, you'd just be not motivated to do so. But I'm pretty sure studies have actually shown that's the opposite. Like, you just need paid a living wage, and then you don't really care about getting a raise after that. Like, if that was just your set money, as long as you were paid enough to live, like, you'll still be motivated to work. And, like, actually giving pay raises, I think, actually demotivates people more. I can't remember. Yeah, like, it's just insane. Yeah, look at me being very political. I feel like it's kind of necessary, though. It's kind of needed in this day and age. 'Cause when I just look at the right wing, at least the extreme right wing, I'm not saying all the people on the right wing are just bad or something like that. Like, that's clearly not the case. I'm literally one who wants to, basically unite the parties. And just, we should work for the freaking American people and not care about, like, what allegiance or, like, what team we're on. Like, no, come on. Just stop. We're, we're literally called the United States, and if we want to be united, we gotta work together. That's what being united is working together. Like, we did that to fight off the British, right? It's like, and to be a country in the first place. So why can't we do that now? And like work together so we can actually have a good country. Like I don't get it. You just need to fight a little bit of corruption and also make it so the people who have a lot of money actually pay it back to the government. That'd be great. Although another way you could do that is just make it so money doesn't exist. That's also a thing you could do. Just money is worthless now. Like, sure, they'll still have all their net worth, but also all their, like, cold hard cash they have, it won't matter. I think, because Aiden pitches to me, like, not having money, I think he was saying, like, you just give stuff that the people need, like, just give it out. Because I do know he also said that there's actually enough houses for every person in America. But there's just a bunch of homeless people. Which, yeah, I think that'd be great. Just, like, give everybody a house. Because, like, yeah, just for free. That'd be great. Then we wouldn't have to worry about homelessness or whatnot. Like, I don't understand. Like, I know the right wing's complaining about homelessness in, like, LA, and it's like, well, an easy way to do it is actually, like, a very left-wing way of doing it, which is you just give all the homeless people a house. Because I'm sure there's enough for people to live in there. Because he said it's enough, so I assume it's not like how, like, Chicago was, like, back when the US was first becoming industrialized, where, like, those houses just were terrible. Like, I assume it's actually, like, they'd be in good condition. And, like, you wouldn't have to worry about all that. Besides, just build more houses anyway. Like, those can just be for free. Like, people should not be living on the streets and, like, whatnot, while these people are living up at the top and just not paying anything. And true, I feel like, honestly, personally, just not being a real American if they want to. Well, I guess Elon Musk, I think he was born in South Africa or something like that. Was he born in South Africa, or was it that his parents were South African? I can't remember. But I know he's South African in some way. But, like, you want to help out your country, maybe? Like, how about you actually pay them and not pay the freaking politicians to vote the way you want them to? That's dumb. Like, actually help out the freaking poverty, like, the impoverished. That's not a word. Like, the people in poverty and, like, whatnot, and just freaking go from there. And, like, why do you have all this wealth? Like, I don't get it. If I were to be really rich, I'd give it away. Kind of like how Mr. Beast is doing, like he's just giving it to people. You know? Like, that's what I'd do. If I won the lottery or something, just give it away. Well, probably invest it so I'd actually live comfortably and then give it away. Like, invest enough. But, yeah. That's how I'd feel about that. It's just dumb. Because I think from what I've learned from Aiden, because he's one that, like, he thinks that communism should happen. I think ever since 7th grade, actually. But, like, 3 years ago. Uh, which those were fun, because he got put with someone who was doing a completely different topic. I think it was something about fishing. So those were fun. But because I was just always next to it, and then whoever they were talking to and just arguing about it. It's so funny. But what was it about communism? Oh yeah, I think it was like communism is more like giving like property to the people that actually need it. And like when you do private property or like capitalism, like as it's showing, like how our capitalism is going, there's more of a wealth gap for the US than the French Revolution, when the whole reason they revolted was how rich the royalty was, or like the nobility. Like that's a problem. There's no reason the wealth gap should be that wide. Like that's insane. I'm burping. Hang on. It's just dumb. Like I'm willing to hear out like why the right systems would like work and help our country. Like I'd go for that, you know? Like I'd listen to it and I'd think about it. But like as far as I see it, seems like just the left stuff in general are better. The thing is all of the right wings, like some are just very Christian, which is ironic. And I feel like my mom put it best with her boss is that they're only religious for that 1 hour that they're at church, and that's it. Like I think that is true for some people. Because they what is the main thing Christianity like seek forgiveness or like ask for forgiveness? Those people don't do that. They're literally discriminating against people with no remorse. Like I don't get it. Like I just don't.